Hey, welcome to The Explainer. You ever have a question and wish you could get a real, solid answer, not just an opinion? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how you can do that. So, how do we turn opinions into actual facts? It sounds kind of huge, doesn't it? But what if I told you there's a surprisingly simple process for it? It's not magic or anything. It's all about finding the right evidence and just letting that evidence tell its own story. And you know what? To see how this really works, we're going to follow one case from the very beginning to the very end. So think of us as data detectives. We're about to go on a pretty delicious mission. All right, section one. Every good investigation starts with a question, right? And ours is a super simple one. What is the most popular ice cream flavor? Okay, so the very first step in any kind of data journey is just to have a crystal clear purpose. For us, it's easy. We just want to find out what our friend's favorite ice cream flavor is. Simple. That's the target we're aiming for. Okay, section two. We've got our question. Now it's time to gather the clues. And in the world of data, well, that's called collection. Yeah, data collection. That's the official kind of formal term for this clue hunting phase. But really, it's just a fancy way of saying we're going to go out and systematically gather all the raw info we need to crack this case. And our number one tool for this investigation, it's going to be a survey. You've probably taken a million of them. It's one of the most common and, honestly, most effective ways to just ask people what they think. But here's the thing. A good survey isn't just a bunch of random questions thrown on a page. Nope. It follows a really clear process, just like these steps here. Every single one of these, from writing clear questions to testing it out, is super important to make sure the answers we get back are actually useful. So, for our survey, the main question has to be super clear and direct, something like this. And notice how we're giving people specific choices, multiple choice, right? That's what they call a closed-ended question. Doing it this way is a total game changer because it makes organizing all the answers later so much easier. All right, next up, seeing the story. So let's fast forward a bit. We've sent out our survey and the responses are starting to roll in. Now comes the fun part, finding the story that's hidden inside all that data. And here they are, our results. Okay, so at first glance, this is, well, it's just a jumbled list of answers, right? Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. It's kind of hard to see any real pattern here. This is what we call raw data. And honestly, on its own, it's not telling us a whole lot. So to make any sense of this mess, we have to do what's called data analysis. All that means is we're going to organize this stuff and really examine it to find the patterns, the story that's hiding in there. And just watch what happens when we visualize it. Wow! The second we turn that messy table into a simple bar chart, bam, the pattern just jumps right out at you. You can see it clear as day. That chocolate bar is the tallest. It's totally pulling ahead. And this is such a great example of how different charts tell the story in different ways. You see, a bar chart, like the one we just saw, is absolutely perfect for comparing different amounts side by side. But something like a donut chart, well, that's better for showing how each piece fits into the bigger picture. Check this out. Here's that same exact data, but now in a donut chart. This shows us the proportion, the percentage of the votes. And look at that. Chocolate didn't just win. It got a whopping 43% of all the votes. It's just a different way of looking at it, but it's super valuable. Okay, section 4, the big reveal. We've gathered the clues, we've decoded the evidence. Now it's time to finally solve our delicious mystery once and for all. And there you have it. The data has officially spoken. We're not just guessing anymore. We're not just sharing an opinion. Thanks to these charts, we can actually state a conclusion that's based on cold, hard evidence. I mean, just look at the numbers. One flavor clearly got the most votes. 3 of our friends picked it as their absolute favorite. And that winning flavor is?
Chocolate, there it is. Our analysis proves it. We can say with confidence that chocolate is the most popular flavor among our friends. Case closed.
But hold on. Solving the mystery isn't the end of the story. Not at all. The final step, and you could argue it's the most important one, is to actually use what we've learned to make a decision. So what are the big takeaways from all this? Well, this whole process basically gave us a powerful toolkit, right? We learned that if you ask good questions, you get meaningful answers. We saw how just visualizing data can turn a confusing mess into a clear insight. And maybe the biggest thing, we learned how to make decisions that are powered by real evidence, not just a gut feeling.
And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where data turns into action. So instead of stressing out or guessing what flavor to get for the next party, we can make a smart, data-driven decision. The evidence couldn't be clearer. We are having a chocolate ice cream party. And that's the real point of all this. This whole process, it's not just for giant companies with huge teams of analysts. It is a powerful but simple tool that anyone can use to better understand their own world. All it takes is a question. So I'll leave you with that thought. What simple question about your world could you answer with a little bit of data?